The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And that was Bring Me the Horizon, so check it out. Pearl Jam, Wrigley Field. I told you to give you the word again that we just dropped out. This word is now available the entire hour when you text in FLOW to 312-591-8300. Some misspellings on this one. It's like even flow. So it's F as in Frank, L as in... Why can't I think of an L word?
Give me an L word.
Lesbian.
Okay. Works.
F as in Frank, L as in lesbian.
That's nice.
O as in orgasm.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
And W.
Can't wait to hear W.
And W as in the W when the Cubs win a game, it goes up on the flag.
So are people leaving out the W? Is that what's happening?
Are.
They going like the flow from progressive route? Is that what's happening
Roker,
here?
that's exactly what's happening.
It's hard with your phone. We get it. When you text, it's easy to make fun of you for texting wrong, but autocorrect just goes with what you, like those things you do.
Oh.
So
We just got one that says flop.
text LeBron.
Yeah.
No. So text Flo, F as in Frank, L as in lesbian, O as in orgasm, and W as in a Cubs victory.
Cubs win.
To 312-591-8300. You got the whole hour to do it. So, but to 9:59, I should say. And then there'll be another word next hour when Lauren comes in. Also, interesting text here. Tony texted in from Naperville and said, my new wife loves Pearl Jam.
Your new wife?
Yeah.
The old one, not so much. But the new one, that's why she's a keeper.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's interesting, like, I hopefully am married to Megan the rest of my life. I can't imagine if I divorced her, I would not get another wife. It's over. There's nothing better. She taught me what she taught me what love was. No, I hope she never leaves me. Megan, are you listening? Hopefully. But do people who get married and divorced and get a second wife or a third wife, do they say this is my new wife?
I've always wondered, like, so when you go to heaven, like, are you there with your last wife? Are you there with your first wife? Are you there? Who are you there with?
Well, everybody's dead, right? Like, so
wait a minute. So there's no world's greatest band up there?
No, I mean that. Yeah, he didn't kill all the wives. He's up there with the wives.
Kill the wives.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. My brain just got really weird on this one. But I would just figure if you're on your third wife, even you go, this is my wife, not my new wife.
Oh, that's true.
We introduced, and so Tony, I don't know, man.
Well, I guess it's odd because we don't know Tony, so it's not like we knew the old one. If you got married to somebody else and introduced me to her, you'd be like, this is my new wife. That makes sense. Megan's out of the picture. Gone. Be gone. Goodbye.
I wouldn't do that. I would just say, this is my wife. And you'd assume that Megan's not in the picture anymore.
My new wife?
We don't live in Utah. I mean, I don't know.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. An announcement about tomorrow's show, Friday's show, big fun show. We're going to have world premiere music from Linkin Park in this hour. 9 o'clock straight up, new music from Linkin Park. Now, this is an old recording, kind of what we released Lost about a year ago,
It was about this time last year, yeah.
Yeah, which was on Meteora. And we found out that would have been the track that replaced Numb.
That's right.
So can you imagine never hearing Numb?
Never hearing Numb, right.
Like Jay-Z never would have done that, the Jay-Z, the Collision Course
Collision
album.
Course, which is fantastic, by the way.
For a while, Roker, for a good while here, I was using that, watching Collision Course on YouTube before every show to get warmed up before 6 o'clock.
It's amazing.
I know
it's awesome.
When Brian puts on Jay-Z Linkin Park, which by the way turns 20 this year, and we will be doing a segment on 20 years of Collision Course in November.
Thank you.
When Brian puts on Jay-Z Linkin Park, I know things are about to get real.
Yeah, I just can never imagine that they sat there and went, let's just go with Numb. It's a better track. And I think it is a better track than Lost was, actually, but Lost is a really good track.
Both are phenomenal.
And so this is another song from the Lost Meteora sessions.
No, this song is called Friendly Fire. It's from the One More Light sessions. That was their last album in 2017.
That's right.
This is one of the last things that Chester ever recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's wild. It's kind of I don't know if it's use the word controversial, but it's a dividing line with some fans of bands when people pass away to not use their voice or guitar or whatever because they're not alive to say, I don't like that.
Consent.
Or consent to it. And so this is a song that was recorded with Chester, so he knew this song was something that he wanted to do. The more interesting story, or I guess a little bit more, with Soundgarden is because Chris Cornell's estate, which his wife and the rest of the band, his widow, I should say, have really gone at it over the last few years with lawsuits because the band wants to take the vocals that Chris has left behind and make new songs with them. Different thing than Linkin Park.
Right.
Because they're just taking so many vocal tracks left over. And I remember a year ago the lawsuit got settled, and I remember hearing that they were going to say they were possibly going to make some songs. But Roker, you had some new info on this.
Yeah, no, it was settled, and now it's back on again between the lawsuit between Soundgarden and Chris Cornell's estate, aka his widow.
Right.
So now I think Matt Cameron came out a little while ago and said definitely nothing going to come out this year.
That's right. It looked like they might have been able to prepare for a release in 2024, but with the issue being back on between the band and the estate, he said in November that it's very unlikely we'll see any new Soundgarden this year.
See, I'm kind of the camp where I want to hear it. I want to hear what they do with Chris Cornell's voice. And I get some people, I understand the other argument that you don't want to hear any of it at all. I mean, how much Jimi Hendrix stuff has come out since he died?
God.
Yeah.
That family's made $1 billion off of him dead. $1 billion. And he died in debt.
That's right.
How about that?
He didn't get to see any of that wealth. And so I'm not saying that's bad because we've heard things that I go as a guitar player, hey, that's cool. I got to hear that, even though Jimmy might not have wanted it released. So I'm of the camp where I want to hear them do something with Chris's voice, but I totally understand both sides of the argument. You know, if I let him rest in peace, he didn't choose this stuff. Don't mess with his voice.
Any Chris Cornell, I'll take it.
Me too. That's kind of what
it
is.
And then, but underlying is the whole kind of sadness that ties Chester and Chris together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. To get back into that gets really emotional.
Yeah.
Of how what happened to Chris and then months later on the birthday, Chester.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And listen, if you ever need a mental health need.
Check-ins, we're here.
And also 988.
That's right.
You just dial that number. That's a new number that came up within the last year. 988 is very simple to call if you have any mental health struggles going on. Because we don't want to lose anybody, especially when you go look at the artist and know what those guys contributed for the 20 years, 30 years even, for Soundgarden.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. We need you here. You might not hear it often, but we need you here. So stick around. Not literally listening to this station, of course, but on Earth, we need you here.
Yes.
We need you present. Your family needs you. Your friends need you. So stick around.
Yep, you're wanted. Now, I'm going to play some Soundgarden now. That's what kind of got me in the tie. We'll play Linkin Park after Soundgarden. But ironically, when you mentioned Matt Cameron, he's in Pearl Jam now.
Pearl Jam, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. It all ties together a little bit.
So that word to go see Pearl Jam at Wrigley Field and Matt Cameron on the drums, about the seventh drummer of Pearl Jam, text FLOW to 312-591-8300. FLOW. You know how to spell flow. I'm not going to do it for you again. 312-591-8300. Text that to see Pearl Jam and Matt Cameron on the drums like he does so well on this song at Wrigley Field. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
All right, Lauren's coming in as Ticket Blitz Thursday continues, but I want to remind you, you have 15 minutes left. 10 o'clock, 9:59, I should say. The word expires. Flow expires as an even flow, so FLOW. Text that in to 312-591-8300 for your chance to get Pearl Jam at Wrigley Field. It's going to be a pretty stellar day. So be here every hour for Pearl Jam tickets to Wrigley Field. Go through our takeaways from you guys at 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
I got a real one, just like we talked about. I just want to remind people of this. 847 checked in. Takeaway, reach out and get support if you need it. 988 is available and valuable.
That is a real one.
That's a real one right there.
Remember, talk to somebody if you need it. Roker, what do you got for takeaways?
Lana from 219 transmitter kicking out to Indiana today.
Whoop, whoop.
Her takeaway from the show is that L is for lesbian and O is for orgasm.
That's official military code, I think.
Call me.
And finally, takeaway from way too many to highlight exactly. I will say specifically from the Naperville, Aurora area. Spoiler alert, Al Roker Jr. is black.
I was stunned to hear it.
So if you want to hear what all these mean, you go to the podcast. Case, what do you got on there?
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's a loaded day on our podcast. So much fun. We talked about Horace Grant ending up in the 12th rated adult magazine.
Yes, Cherry.
Yes, that's right. So we talked about that. We had the most intense game of Clash with Kenzie ever, with Roker filling in for Kenzie. And also, Brian made an enormous promise to the people of Joliet at the start of the show. And it's time we start a movement and make Brian make sure that he pays off his promise to the people of Joliet.
Ugh, I forgot about that. But as I may be running for mayor again this year,
Oh, boy.
maybe
Of Joliet?
the people of Joliet, I want to help.
They want you to be their mayor?
No, not mayor, but just to help them.
Brian wants to be their mayor. They don't want him to be
Gotcha.
their
That
mayor.
makes sense. That makes
No,
sense.
I could actually. It'd be great because the mayor gets a free house, right?
I would think so.
Is it Monopoly? I
At
don't
the
know
very
if that's
least.
true or not. What do you...
I just figure you have like the White House, the president gets a free house. Does the mayor get a free house in all these towns?
I don't think so.
I don't
Governors
think so.
get a governor's mansion.
Right.
I don't think mayors get a free house.
Can't a mayor get a house out here?
It's all about negotiation, baby.
I know. Well, Lauren's here.
Hi, guys.
What's going on, Lauren?
He's here.
Hi.
Love him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
The first time I haven't seen you, like you usually have like Red Bull and vodka in my hand at Riot Fest.
Also, Lauren, did you know Roker's black?
I did know that. Did you know that Al Roker Jr. gives the best hugs?
Well, of course I do.
Okay. Gotta get over here and get some of that.
That's all you got to fill in this week.
Yeah.
Oh, so listen, Pearl Jam, Wrigley Field. By the way, great job in breaking the news of Riot Fest and Slayer yesterday. That is the first band to be announced for Riot Fest.
You didn't say it right.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Slayer.
Say it.
I've been up for 7 hours. I'm not going to say Slayer. Okay, that's how I got to say it. What do you got coming up today, Lauren?
I have a brand new Kings of Leon song
Oh,
premiering at 11 o'clock.
okay.
And of course, Pearl Jam tickets all day. It's Ticket Blitz Thursday.
So Kings of Leon, veterans of Q101 Twisted Christmas and other things. And then 11 a.m. What time you doing? Oh, every hour you got Pearl Jam.
That's right.
Every hour, Pearl Jam tickets. Ticket Blitz Thursday with Lauren O'Neill now.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.